This I am that I am, there is no functional difference between it and the I am that you are. If we both stared into each other's eyes, held each other's hands, and let our I ams well up and make contact, we wouldn't be able to distinguish between them. They would feel like the exact same I am. And this is what we have in common with all human beings. This is why, regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or political affiliation or age or any other way we can separate and divide people into groups, they're all superficial. They're all surface compared to this I am. And at this I am level, there is no separation between you and me. Okay, my friends, in this video, I'm going to do something kind of weird and probably kind of stupid, and that is I'm going to attempt to embody or channel different levels of consciousness in this video while I'm recording. And I'm going to ask each level of consciousness a question and see how it responds. And I'm doing this because I want to show people this difference between these different levels of consciousness that we all have inside of us and that we might be switching between without even realizing it. It's so important on the spiritual path to learn to start distinguishing between our ego identity and our deeper being. And even deeper than that, there is a dimension of knowing, pure knowing, without any identity associated with it, without any form associated with it. Another thing I'm going to attempt to show you is not really a level of my personal consciousness, but I want to embody or channel a negative spiritual entity, what they call an unattached burden in the internal family systems model of therapy, or what some personal growth paths call the shadow. They're not always clear in distinguishing our personal shadow from an external shadow being that gloms onto us. So that term shadow is kind of vague. It's kind of a catch-all for anything negative inside of us. But that's another name people use for it. Of course, in religious context, they might call it a demon or a rakshasa or whatever, depending on what religion you're talking about. I'm going to show you one of those too. In fact, I'm going to start there. We're going to start in the basement and then work our way up. And this is weird because it might look weird to you. I don't know. It's not really weird to me, but it might look weird to other people. And when I say it's probably kind of stupid for me to do this, I guess I'm thinking that some people are going to think I'm a schizophrenic. That's not true. I'm not schizophrenic at all. I lean much more heavily into psychopathy. If I was going to pick a personality disorder, that's the one I would pick. Actually, I think I'm literally somewhat OCPD, perfectionist, extremely orderly to a fault. But anyway, we're going to show you. I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh, yeah. So I want to actually ask for help. So I don't usually do my praying when the camera's rolling, but I'm going to do it this time because I'm going to show you that too. I'm going to go up into my 8th chakra and I'm going to bring down diamond white light into my 8th chakra. Which of course dissolves whatever tension I'm holding in my body when I do that. eighth chakra's up here, by the way. It's right at the boundary of our energy egg, between what you could say is between the personal and the transpersonal. It's kind of at that boundary. And then I'm going to ask guides who are 8th level guides or higher to help me to connect to these different levels. If you feel inclined to help me make this video, then please help me to connect to levels that I might find it difficult to connect with. I'm especially looking at you, the tippy top level. I don't always feel like I have control over connecting with that level. I mean, in fact, I don't have any control whatsoever over connecting with that level. It either happens or not. I sort of stand by the edge of the pool and then see if a breeze knocks me in. That's kind of how I try to do that. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to try to come down because I got too much positive energy right now because I was kind of in a meditative space before I started this. So I got to get unmeditative. I want to show you some dark shadow stuff. That shouldn't be too hard for me to do. And I want to ask it a question, and let's say, what question should we ask? How about, what do you want? What's your purpose? What's your goal? I'm going to ask each level that question. So we'll start with a shadow level. I don't know if I can get there right now. Come on. Let's get out of the... Let's drop down. Okay, I'm going to connect with... I'll let go my... I got to change the... I cannot connect to it if I've got diamond white light energy in my 8th chakra. It won't allow that to happen. So, okay. Ugh. Okay. I just changed it to red. I'm picking red because whenever I watch a horror movie, I notice that my 8th chakra color turns red. If I start to believe the movie, which means I can tell that I'm starting to believe the movie, the horror movie, if I start feeling scared. If I start feeling like it's grabbed me a little bit, it's caught me, and I'm starting to kind of go with it and let it tell me what reality is. If I'm letting a horror movie tell me what reality is, then I notice that in my 8th chakra, it's usually red energy. And then if I change it to diamond white, and I don't want to do that right now, then the movie stops being scary. It just like, boom, it loses its grasp on me. So I'll put red energy there. Okay. And I'm going to ask something. Yeah, I can feel you. I can feel a dark energy. This is as close as I got to embodying a unattached burden, and it only lasted a second, so I've pulled out a frame from the video so you can see it. So I'm going to try to show you the energy. So when you're looking at this video, just notice the subtle shift in my body language, in my facial expression, in my tone. And if you're very sensitive, you can sense a shift energetically. Okay, so I got a being online, but it doesn't want to show you itself because it doesn't want you guys to know about it, about it doesn't want me to expose this. Like if I make it clear what this energy is, if I make it conscious for people, then they'll be able to start choosing whether they go there or not. So this being doesn't want me to show you that because he doesn't want you to start to notice when you get taken over by beings like this. And just for some context, it's my personal belief that all human beings get taken over or influenced by negative entities to varying degrees. Unless you're doing spiritual hygiene practices every day, probably even multiple times a day, unless you're living in a state of alignment, then in my opinion or my belief, so far I'm open to being wrong, I'm open to correction, I'm open to changing my views, but based on my experience so far, my assumption is that everybody is being influenced to varying degrees by both negative and positive spiritual entities, and that's part of being on planet Earth, because we have negative here, we have positive. We've got saints like Buddha and Jesus embodying the very highest levels of reality, and then we've got people who abduct victims and take them down into the basement and do unspeakable things to them. So we've got both active here. In my opinion, our spirituality needs to be strong enough to face and hold the big picture of what's going on here. And if we're afraid to look at something or to acknowledge something and we go into denial about it, not only are we not protecting ourselves from it, we're actually just sticking our heads in the sand, leaving our rear end flapping in the breeze, but we're not really connecting with true spirituality, because our true spirituality is strong enough to hold all that, to hold everything. True spirituality is just a synonym for reality. And so true spirituality can hold reality. It doesn't have a problem with reality. It's in alignment with reality. Okay, so anyway, I'm going down a little rabbit hole here, but I'm going to try to embody red energy, 8th chakra, and I want to call on who wants to show themselves. I don't know if I can actually get a being to sit in my body right now. God dang it. I thought this was going to be the easy one because they're always around when you don't want them. Crap. Okay. Yeah, they don't want to be seen. Okay, so maybe I'll try this. So what is the energy of us versus them? Seeing other human beings as the enemy. This isn't really working. I can't get it, man. I can't get it. Okay. I just keep feeling this upwelling of presence, which kind of happens when I sit, to meditate almost automatically. And I'm sort of sitting in a meditative posture, and I'm sitting on the place where I meditate. Okay, no, I'm going to show you I'm going to try to show you my human ego personality. So the ego personality is based in memory. It believes it's a person. Like in my case, I believe I'm this man named Ellis, and I was born in 1969. I'm 56 years old, and I'm 5'10". I have gray hair, and I have this life history, and I have all these memories, and I have these exes, and I have these parents, and these siblings, and friends, and children, and all this stuff. And what do I want? I just want to pay my bills, have enough food, and I want to have a house, and I want to be comfortable. I want to explore art. I want to write and share and communicate with people. I want to connect with nature. I want to enjoy beauty while living on this planet. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to die. I want the people around me to be happy and at peace. All right. That's my ego. Notice how that feels. It's just feels like a person, right? So now I'm going to drop all that, and I'm just going to I'm going to relax into beingness. And I'm going to ask my guides, any guide who wants to participate, to help me really help this beingness to well up. And beingness is always right here with us. And it doesn't have words that I've ever seen. It's not a verbal dimension. It's a feeling, but it's not just a feeling like an emotion. The best word I can call it is just like it's a presence of something. It's here, and it has a feeling of fullness to it. Almost like invisible water or air that's filling up and welling up and flowing. And it feels very, very peaceful. It's very present in the moment. It's not spinning yarns in the head of past and future and things that you want to avoid or things you want to grab onto and pursue and go after. It doesn't really do that. It just is. It's just here. And when it fills up my body, when I let it well up, it usually puts a smile on my face. It usually makes a sigh of relaxation happen. Because when I'm in my ego and I'm getting all kind of tensed up about things that I want to keep away from me and things that I want to bring closer to me, and there's obstacles and there's things I have to push and pull against and fight against, and I start getting more and more tense. When I'm in that mode, then the tension tends to build in my body. I might not notice that there's tensions there until I turn towards presence. Another word for presence is I am. It is the I am in the Bible. So there went some tension. And in the Bible, the I am is God. The word Yahweh, which is the name of God, means I am is God. I'm not a Bible scholar, so confirm that for yourself. But that's what I've read. I am is God. Now, in the Christian tradition, other Judeo-Christian traditions, at least in the mainstream, more popular understanding, there's supposed to be a difference between who we are and God, right? But I think there's actually a slight misunderstanding there. I think the difference is between our ego self and God. There is a difference in a certain way between our ego self and God. But is there a difference between this I am that can rise up inside of us? Is there a difference between that and God? I don't think so. I think the reason the Bible says that God dwells within is because this I am dwells within. This I amness, you could call it, or you could call it I aming, because that's what it's more like a verb than a noun. It's not a fixed thing. It's a moment by moment by moment upwelling of presence that is alive and full and joyful and loving and connected. There's really no, if you let it, the more you let it well up and move out, if you let it well up and contact other things, you will find that there is no separation between it and other things. There's no separation. There's no limit. There's no walls. There's no stop sign that it obeys. It'll go as far as you let it. If you want to let it go all the way to the corners of the universe, it will go that far. And everything in between here and the furthest corner of the universe is this same I am. Every form is the I am. And another name for it, again from the Bible, I think, is the Holy Spirit, because it is the presence of God in the universe, in all things. And it's called Atman. And I think, I'm not a Hindu scholar either. I think this is the Atman. I am. The I am is sacred in the Hindu mystical tradition too. They call it Soham. Or what's the other? Hamsa is another name for it. So there's a lot of traditions that do an I am meditation where all you have to do, it's so simple, guys. It's so simple to let this you, because this is you. This I am is not, when the I am arises in you, it's not something else arising in you. It's you arising in you. It's more you than a memory about what your name is and your age and your occupation and your location. The ego stuff, all memory based, that feels further out from our core than this I am. This I am is our living core. So how could it be something other than us? How could I am be something else? It can't. That doesn't make any sense, right? A memory could be wrong. Our body could be wrong. Our memories could be wrong. Our name could be wrong. Everything about the ego could be wrong, but this I am presence that we are, how could that be mistaken? It's not possible. The only thing that we know for certain is that we are, right? In logic, that's kind of a law. This could all be a dream, but the fact that I am could not be a dream. We know that is true, and it's really the only thing we know for certain. Everything else is a probability. So this I am, guys, all you have to do to contact it is just relax. You might close your eyes and then just notice your own being, that you're here, that you're occupying a dimension in some way, that there's something about you that's just here. And then let yourself relax into that. It won't hurt you. It's like getting into a warm bathtub. Except in this case, you're letting the warm bathtub come out of you, because it's what you are. So this I am, that I am, there is no functional difference between it and the I am that you are. There's no, if we both stared into each other's eyes, held each other's hands, and let our I ams well up and make contact, we wouldn't be able to distinguish between them. They would feel like the exact same I am. And this is what we have in common with all human beings. This is why, regardless of race or gender or sexual orientation or political affiliation or age or any other way we can separate and divide people into groups, they're all superficial. They're all surface compared to this I am. And at this I am level, there is no separation between you and me, or me and the freaking couch, or a squirrel, or a tree, or a cloud, or the wind, or even negative entities, because they have the same I am inside of them. And they sort of hate that, because their whole trip is that they're turning away from the I am. They're trying to run from what they are, which obviously doesn't ever really work. You can only delude yourself for a period of time before you become exhausted by your own confusion, and then you eventually come back home. So nothing is separate from you on this I am dimension. It doesn't mean I'm going to let a stranger walk into my house. I have guns, guys. I have weapons. If a stranger comes into my house, it's not going to be a healthy day for them, right? Because on the physical level, I'm going to protect the integrity of this body and of my personal space and of my family. So being at one with everything doesn't mean we start brushing our teeth with toilet paper and wiping our butt with a toothbrush. We don't just throw away distinction or boundaries. We still need an immune system. But any disease organism that invades my body trying to disrupt my health, I'm one with that. And anyone who tried to come into my house and hurt me, I'm one with them. That's why I couldn't hate them. Say a murderer tried to come in here and kill me. I couldn't hate them for that. And maybe they do kill me, or they kill, even worse, they kill one of my family members. I couldn't, in truth, hate them for that. They could break my heart. If they hurt one of my family members, it would break my heart. I would feel so sad. I would feel so, I can feel loss. And yet I couldn't stop loving them. Because to stop loving them is what madness is. That's what madness looks like. And there is no madness in our being. Our being can't go there. Our being can't have a mental health issue. It can't have a personality disorder. It's not a personality. Our personality can have a disorder, our ego level, but our being can't. It can't be divided. And personality disorders depend upon division. A personality disorder is a way that a system gets divided, partitioned, and then becomes in conflict with itself. The I am can't be divided. This God is never, ever, ever, ever divided from anything. It's here before the personality, and it remains after the personality. When this body's gone, this I am will still exist because it doesn't depend on the body. To the contrary, the body depends on it. The body is alive because it's in the body. All right, so that's the I am. That's always fun. I recommend meditating on it. Or letting it meditate you is a more accurate way of putting it. Or even more accurate is, I recommend abiding in it. Sitting, letting it turning your attention towards it and surrendering to it. Surrendering to it means relaxing into it. And as you relax into it, you're just abiding in it. And you don't have to go anywhere or do anything. You just are. And you can sit that way for hours without being bored, and without your body won't even, assuming you're on a comfortable place, your body won't get tired. I think my record is sitting there for 3 hours with a smile on my face before I finally just I'm just going to do something else. I think I'm going to get up now. And yes, my knees were a little stiff, but it's amazing when you sit in that presence how it stays fresh. It stays full. Your breathing can slow down. It's almost like your body stops needing oxygen at some point. Sometimes your breath can just get so slow that it stops for strangely long periods of time. You could go 30 seconds and then it just starts to breathe again, just like a tiny trickle of breath. Instead of being like, you're just like, it just barely breathes again. It gets so still, and somehow your body stays alive. I don't know why. Because it is aliveness, this I am. All right, enough of the I am. Let's go. And I'm going to call on 8th level guides and higher to help me go to the next big step. I think there's gradations in between, but we're going to go to the next. I want to go to the non-dual. The I am is non-dual too, but it's different. So the level I want to show or embody is a level of it's hard to talk when you start going into this level. You can't see, but my hand keeps going into this mudra. So this level, sorry, I'm dragging this out. So this level is what I call the absolute. And it's not really a level. It's, and I'm not actually showing it to you right now because it really can't be shown. And it can't be, again, I'll show you my hands are going into mudras. Mudras are, I don't know what they are. They're things your hands do. Sometimes your body moves in a certain way when you're touching into spaces. I don't know why, but it just feels like my hands want to do this. Abhaya mudra, chin mudra, I think. So what I'm turning towards, I haven't even started yet, but somehow it's already doing it. It's already doing me. There's a dimension of reality that is dimensionless and utterly still, and it's formless. There's no form. This is the highest level of reality. It is what is prior to the universe, and it is the most real dimension in the sense that it doesn't arise and subside. It doesn't Okay, I can let that one go now. This dimension doesn't come and go. The universe comes and goes. We know that even scientifically, right? The universe has an age. It was born. It will one day die. Okay, I can let that one go. The universe feels real, but when you touch into this non-dual reality, the universe stops feeling real. I should say form stops feeling real, and you can see very clearly that it's transitory. So something that's transitory cannot be real in the full meaning of the word real. Just like you have a dream that comes and goes and you don't think it's real because it's just a dream, right? Because it came and went. That's why you don't think it's real. Because when you woke up from it, it was gone and you're like, oh, it's not here anymore, so it's not real. So from this highest formless dimension, the whole universe is seen. It feels like a dream. It feels exactly the same way as a dream feels when you wake up from it, because you just see that it was an appearance that appeared, and then it's going to disappear. The weird sensation I'm having right now as I'm talking to you is that I'm not. It's not really me talking to you. It's just I'm looking at my body talking to you, and thoughts are appearing in my head out of somewhere. Who knows where? Out of that, whatever that is. Thoughts are appearing out of a void and out of a dimensionless point, and it's talking to you. So I want to turn towards this formless, dimensionless point. My neck wants to move. We hold tensions and blocks in our body, and when we're connecting with higher frequencies, sometimes we want to move. Like sometimes, just like sometimes you need to yawn. What you're moving, you're trying to clear an energy block when you yawn. You are clearing an energy block. That's what that is. You're feeling a dullness, and you yawn to kind of try to move the dullness and wake up a little bit. You're feeling a sleepiness in here, a dullness, and then when you yawn, you're trying to actually move that. So when you're meditating and we're connecting with higher energies, our body sometimes makes movements just like yawning or coughing or sneezing. We're trying to clear something. We're trying to move some energy, a block. I think if we didn't have any blocks, that wouldn't happen. But we have plenty of blocks, most of us. So, yeah, what is the purpose of this dimensionless point, this stillness, which, by the way, isn't Ellis? So my ego is in the background here, and it's kind of paying attention to what I'm doing, and it's making me, and it's comparing, it's going, is Ellis looking cool right now? Is he looking really spiritual? Does this sound advanced? Will people think Ellis is advanced and special? And then what will happen? If people think I'm special and advanced, what will happen? God, honestly, it just doesn't sound good. It doesn't look good. But to my ego, there's some part of me that wants that, right? It would honestly just be annoying and confusing. Because there would be all these energies in my space of other people that I would have to deal with. So I don't really want that, but I'm aware of this ego thing, little guy hanging out, going, how does this benefit me, what I'm doing right now? But this energy that I'm giving a little room to in my body, I'm making a little bit of room for it. This energy isn't Ellis, so I can't claim it as an ego. I can't go, hey, this look how cool I am, because this isn't me. This isn't me as a person. And I might look like a total idiot right now too. I'm sure some people think that I do look like a total idiot right now, what I'm doing. But the way it feels in my body is that there's a stillness that is not rigid. Okay, so it's not like it's me gonna hold my body still. I don't know if you see that, but there's a stillness that's not stuck. It's not rigid, fixed. It's not a stillness that's unable to move. It's a stillness where movement doesn't make any sense. It doesn't exist. Only form can move, and this is the complement to that I amness, that beingness. This is non-being. This is non-beingness. And it sounds horrible, right? Why would we want non-beingness? Why would we want... isn't that another name for death? Non-beingness? No. Death can only happen to a form, but this non-beingness... death can only happen to something that is, and this non-beingness isn't, you know? It's not a form. It is dimensionless, and it is the highest reality. I know, man. I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense to a three-dimensional being, which is what a human being kind of is, you know? We are beingness in 3 dimensions, even more dimensions than that, but we're mostly aware of the 3 dimensions. And so we don't really grasp, it's very hard to grasp non-dimensional space. We want to picture it in our head as 3-dimensional, but it's not. Being and non-being, the I am and this absolute dimension are complements of each other, you know? They're like the in-breath and the out-breath. They're like the God and the goddess. In Christianity, I think the absolute corresponds to God the Father prior to creation, when darkness was on the face of the deep and nothing was. Okay, so that's this dimensionless thing. And then the other aspect of God is the Holy Spirit that comes about and fills the entire universe. The Holy Spirit is omnipresent, right? And then the third aspect of God in Christianity is God the Son, which is the embodiment of God in a human body. And so the place where Hindus disagree with Christians is that they believe Jesus was showing us the way that we're supposed to do and become like Jesus, not showing us the way to go to some other dimension, some other location in the universe where we enjoy happiness. The Hindus would say Jesus was embodying, he was a human being who was holding space for these other aspects of God or reality. Sort of like I'm doing here, but I'm not claiming to be on the same level as Jesus at all. Okay, so let's not make that mistake. But we can all move in that direction, right? So that's I'm trying to, in my own way, in my own capacity, trying to embody that. So again, I don't know if you can tell, but there's just like a blankness in my head. I don't know. The stillness has got me, you know? This non-dual stillness has grabbed a hold of my head, and I'm just kind of watching. I just feel like I'm a still point that's aware of Ellis's body talking to a camera. So that is and if there's any one of you who want to experience this, then I would just say, let it in. It won't hurt you. It is the dimension of you that is utterly incapable of being hurt, because it is prior to form. So if you want it, let it in. Or let it out. However you want to say it. Let it connect through me and through you. Here's 2 windows. You've got 2 windows. We can let this non-dimensional stillness connect through our windows, our mutual windows, okay? So that's an opportunity right there for some who feel ready to do that. I can feel it. Guys, we can let it heal us because it sets things right. And it's wild, so wild when you let it organize your system. Another way for that is when you let it align your system. We can see for how many years and years and years we've been so worried. Right? We've been so worried that there wasn't enough, that we were going to die, that we wouldn't be loved, that we were flawed, that there was something wrong. And when we let this dang, I don't even know. When we let if we'll just let it in, if we'll just give him a microsecond to God, God will begin healing us. Healing just means putting everything away in its rightful place. That's what healing is. we've made a fucking mess. And when we let this God current, call it that, if we just give it a little space, we give it a tiny bit of operational space, then God will fix everything. It will fix everything. It will put all of our toys back on the shelf and vacuum the floors and wipe the grime off the tabletop and fold our clothes and put them away, and they will have a fresh spring scent to them. Do you know what I mean? And you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, okay? So, like, if you're a Christian, and this all sounds too weird, and you think the devil's involved here or something like that, throw me away. Throw all of this away. You can spit on me and throw me in the freaking trash can, okay? Not literally spit on me, but you can utterly reject everything I'm saying here, but then go find your God. Go find your God of stillness and give him, it, whatever, her, give that a little aperture, a little bit of a window into your room, your person, your body, mind. If you can do that, my friend, I'm going to stop right there. Because I don't need to even finish that sentence. If you know.